this morning as the nationwide bus driver strike enters its second day. Affected commuters have been urged to make use of alternative transport. The drivers at about 15 companies downed tools yesterday, demanding a 12% wage increase, while the employers are offering 7%. In a statement, Transport Minister Dr. Bladin Nzimande has appealed to all parties to urgently find a negotiated settlement. All right, and for more on this story, let's now cross live to our reporter, Mangoba Mkunu, who is in Soweto for us this morning. Mangoba, a very good morning to you. Talk to us about the situation now.
Well, certainly, Palisa, this second day of the bus strike hitting hard on many bus commuters here in Soweto. Of course, you'll recall that most of them use Patco buses as well as Ria Vaya to try and get to their destinations. But with the strike, of course, having taken place, many of them are again forced to find alternative accommodation this morning as they have been left stranded for the second day in a row. And of course, many of them flocking here at Bara Taxi Rank to try and find that alternative accommodation to make use of the taxi service that is currently here. And of course, just to show you, Palisa, a glimpse of what I'm talking about here, those snaking queues you can see just here on the side behind me, snaking all the way back to the back, and of course growing by the minute as these desperate commuters try to make their way here. And of course, one can only imagine the sense of anxiety as well as the frustration this morning on most of these commuters who now have to dig deeper in their pockets in order to try and reach their destinations. Of course, you recall that many of them use weekly and monthly tickets in order to get their transportation in their buses when they are going to work. But of course, now having to dig deep into their pockets to pay cash in order to use taxis to get to work, to school and university, so forth. I'm just going to speak to some of them just to hear about their frustrations about this strike, how it's affecting them. Puti, let me start with you. Let me talk to you. Of course, Puti, you are among those who are traveling this morning. The queues are long. I mean, is this an inconvenience to you?
Yeah, I think it is. We're getting a bit late to work and it's a bit inconvenient, you know. I think the buses should come back and then make things better. Yeah.
But of course, having to dig deeper, you have to pay more now in order to get to where you're going.
Yes. We could pay a bit more, but you know, I mean, what can we do? What can we say?
Okay, thank you, Puti, speaking to us there about some of their frustrations. I'm going to try and head this side and see who I can speak to this side, who can speak to us. Siswam, kuluma nawe about this situation of the bus strike, Sisi. How is it affecting you personally? I know that the queues are long. It's taking more time to get to your destination.
We get late at work, so we have to get out very early in Makaya to be here.
For you personally, how has it been for the past 2 days? I'm sure you have had to wait longer to get to work. You've had to arrive at work a bit late, and also in the afternoons. How has it affected you so long?
So in the afternoons, we get back home very late as well. So it affects us. Imagine like having a child, having to fetch her from school. Yeah, so long queues here. It's very hectic.
Thank you very much, Sisi. Okay, Palisa, let me just hold it there for now. Just to explain to you, though, that there will be negotiations later on today as both the unions as well as the employers are expected to go back to the negotiating table. Of course, that process will be facilitated by the CCMA and it's expected to start at 10 o'clock this morning. But of course, many of these commuters will definitely have their ears and eyes on this process, hoping that, of course, it will yield positive results, which could see the end of this crippling strike.
All right, many thanks there to our reporter, Mangoba Mkunu, live from Soweto. Those two stories are developing and we'll be keeping a very close eye on here on Morning Live.